You've done everything right. You worked hard. You saved what you could. You planned for retirement the best way you knew how. And now you're here, looking at your Social Security check, your pension, maybe some savings, and you're thinking, is this really it? Is this all I get after a lifetime of work? Here's what nobody tells you about retirement in America. The average Social Security check is around $1,800 a month. For many retirees, it's less. And in most American cities, that barely covers rent, let alone utilities, groceries, healthcare, and the kind of life you imagined when you dreamed about your golden years. You're not living, you're surviving. And that's not what you worked 40 years for. But here's the truth that changes everything. The money you have right now, the income you thought wasn't enough, could give you a completely different life somewhere else. Not a lesser life, a better one. We're talking about countries where $1,500 a month doesn't just cover your bills, it buys you luxury, real luxury. Oceanfront apartments, fresh, delicious food, affordable healthcare that actually works, a community of people who welcome you, and the freedom to finally live the retirement you deserve. I know what you're thinking. Move to another country at my age? That sounds complicated, scary, too risky. And I get it. You've built a life here. You have routines, familiarity, maybe family nearby. The idea of starting over in a foreign place feels overwhelming. But here's what thousands of retirees have already discovered. It's not as hard as you think. And the reward, the quality of life you gain, is so much greater than anything you're giving up. This isn't about running away. It's about running toward something better. It's about recognizing that your retirement years should be filled with joy, comfort, and peace of mind, not stress about every grocery bill or prescription cost. And in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you 5 countries where $1,500 a month buys you the kind of retirement Americans pay $4,000 or $5,000 a month for and still don't get. These are real places, real numbers, real retirees living this life right now. You've earned this. Let me show you how to claim it. Let's start with a country that feels like a dream but costs less than your current rent. Portugal, specifically the Algarve region in southern Portugal. If you've ever imagined retiring somewhere with perfect weather, stunning coastline, incredible food, and a welcoming community, this is it. And on $1,500 a month, you're not scraping by, you're living well. Portugal has become one of the most popular retirement destinations in the world, and for good reason. The weather is mild year-round. Winters are gentle, summers are warm but not unbearable. The coastline is breathtaking, with cliffs, beaches, and charming fishing villages that look like postcards. And the people? The Portuguese are known for being warm, patient, and incredibly kind to expats, especially retirees. Here's what $1,500 a month gets you in Portugal. A one-bedroom apartment in a safe, beautiful area of the Algarve will run you about $600 to $800 a month. We're not talking about a rundown place. We're talking about modern apartments, many with balconies, some with ocean views, in towns where you can walk to cafes, markets, and the beach. Utilities, including electricity, water, and internet, add another $80 to $100. So you're at roughly $900 for housing and utilities. Now let's talk about food. Portugal is a food lover's paradise. Fresh fish, local produce, incredible bread, wine that costs a fraction of what it does in the States. You can easily feed yourself for $300 a month if you cook at home and still have room in the budget to eat out a few times a week. A nice meal at a local restaurant with wine costs around $12 to $15 per person. Healthcare? Portugal has excellent public healthcare that's affordable, and many retirees also get private insurance for around $50 to $100 a month, which covers everything. So let's add it up. Housing and utilities, $900, food, $300, healthcare, $75. That's $1,275. You still have $225 left over for transportation, entertainment, trips to Lisbon or Porto, or just tucking away for a rainy day. And remember, this isn't surviving. This is living in one of the most beautiful countries in Europe with access to world-class healthcare, safety, and a community of expats who've made the same move and love it. One retired couple from Ohio moved to Lagos, a coastal town in the Algarve, 3 years ago. They pay $750 a month for a 2-bedroom apartment 2 blocks from the beach. They walk to the market every morning, buy fresh fish and vegetables, cook at home, and eat out twice a week. They take weekend trips to Lisbon. They joined a local walking group, and they're spending less than they did living in a small apartment in Cleveland. They told an interviewer, "We didn't just retire, we started living." Portugal also offers a retirement visa that's straightforward and welcoming to retirees with steady income. You don't need to be wealthy, you just need to prove you have enough income to support yourself, which at $1,500 a month, you absolutely do. The process takes a few months, but it's manageable, and there are services that help you through every step. This is what $1,500 buys you in Portugal. Not just a place to live, a life worth living. Now let's cross the ocean to a country that's closer to home, easier to reach, and offers something truly special. Mexico, specifically places like Mérida, San Miguel de Allende, or the Lake Chapala area near Guadalajara. Mexico has been a retirement haven for Americans for decades, and the reason is simple. You get an incredible quality of life for a fraction of what it costs in the States. Mexico is close. You can fly home to visit family in a few hours. The time zone is the same or just an hour off, so staying in touch is easy. The culture is vibrant, warm, and welcoming, and the cost of living? It's almost hard to believe until you see it for yourself. Let's start with housing. In a city like Mérida, which is safe, cultural, and full of colonial charm, you can rent a beautiful 2-bedroom house or apartment for $500 to $700 a month. We're not talking about basic housing. We're talking about places with high ceilings, tile floors, courtyards, sometimes even a small pool. In San Miguel de Allende, which is more upscale and attracts artists and retirees from around the world, you're looking at $700 to $900 for something nice. Utilities run about $50 to $80 a month because electricity is cheap and you don't need much heating or air conditioning in many areas. Food in Mexico is incredibly affordable and delicious. Fresh tortillas, fresh tropical fruits, local meats and vegetables all available at markets for pennies on the dollar compared to US prices. You can easily feed yourself for $200 to $250 a month if you cook at home, and still have room in the budget to eat out a few times a week. A nice meal at a local restaurant with wine costs around $12 to $15 per person. And healthcare? Mexico has excellent public healthcare that's affordable, and many retirees also get private insurance for around $100 to $150 a month, which covers everything, including dental and vision. Let's do the math. Housing and utilities, $750. Food, $250. Healthcare, $125. That's $1,125. You've got $375 left for transportation, entertainment, trips back to the States, or savings. And you're living in a vibrant, colorful country with perfect weather, rich culture, and a huge community of English-speaking expats who've been exactly where you are. One retiree from Arizona moved to Lake Chapala 5 years ago. She rents a 2-bedroom casita with a garden for $600 a month. She walks to the market, takes Spanish classes, joined a book club, and goes out to dinner with friends twice a week. Her total monthly expenses are around $1,300, and she says she's living better than she ever did in Phoenix. She has a maid who comes once a week for $20. She has a gardener who maintains her plants for $15 a month. Things that would have been luxuries in the States are just normal life in Mexico. Mexico also makes it easy for retirees. The temporary resident visa is straightforward if you can show steady income, which $1,500 a month easily covers. You can renew it annually, and after 4 years, you can apply for permanent residency if you want. There are entire communities of American and Canadian retirees in these cities, so you're never alone. You'll find English-speaking doctors, social clubs, volunteer opportunities, and people who understand exactly what you're going through. This is what $1,500 a month buys you in Mexico: comfort, community, and a life full of color and warmth. Let's head to Southeast Asia now, to a country that might surprise you: Thailand. Specifically, cities like Chiang Mai in the north, or coastal areas like Hua Hin. Thailand has long been a favorite for retirees, and once you see the numbers, you'll understand why. This is where $1,500 a month doesn't just buy comfort, it buys luxury. Thailand is warm, beautiful, and incredibly affordable. The people are friendly and respectful, especially toward elders, which is deeply embedded in Thai culture. The food is world-famous and costs almost nothing. And the healthcare. Thailand has some of the best hospitals in Asia, with English-speaking doctors and medical care that rivals anything in the West at a fraction of the price. Let's talk about housing. In Chiang Mai, a modern one-bedroom apartment in a safe central neighborhood with amenities like a pool, gym, and 24-hour security costs about $300 to $500 a month. In Hua Hin, a beach town popular with retirees, you can rent a condo near the ocean for $400 to $600. These aren't bare-bones places. We're talking about modern, clean, well-maintained apartments with air conditioning, fast internet, and everything you need. Utilities, including electricity, water, and internet, run about $50 to $80 a month. Food in Thailand is ridiculously affordable. You can eat street food for $1 to $2 per meal, and it's delicious and safe. If you prefer cooking at home, groceries cost about $150 to $200 a month. Eating out at sit-down restaurants costs $3 to $5 for a full meal. Even at Western-style restaurants, you're paying $8 to $12. Fresh tropical fruits, seafood, rice, noodles, everything is cheap and fresh. Healthcare is where Thailand really shines. A doctor's visit costs about $15 to $25. Prescription medications are affordable. Dental work, which is outrageously expensive in the US, costs a fraction of the price here. Many retirees fly to Thailand specifically for medical procedures because the quality is high and the cost is so low. Private health insurance for retirees runs about $80 to $150 a month, and it covers virtually everything. Let's add it up. Housing and utilities, $550. Food, $200. Healthcare, $100. That's $850. You have $650 left over every month. That's not tight budgeting. That's freedom. You can hire a housekeeper to come twice a week for $60. You can get a massage every week for $8. You can take weekend trips to islands, temples, or neighboring countries. You can save. You can live like you never imagined possible on $1,500 a month. One retired teacher from California moved to Chiang Mai 4 years ago. She rents a one-bedroom condo with a balcony overlooking the mountains for $400 a month. She eats out almost every meal because it's cheaper than cooking. She takes Thai language classes, she volunteers at a local animal shelter, she gets regular massages and spa treatments. Her total monthly expenses are about $1,200, and she's saving the rest. She said in an interview, "I thought I'd have to give everything to retire early. Instead, I have more than I ever had in the States." Thailand offers a retirement visa for people over 50 with proof of income or savings. It's renewable annually, and the process is straightforward. There are entire expat communities in Chiang Mai and Hua Hin, with social groups, English-speaking services, and support networks. You're never alone. And Thai culture deeply respects elders, so you'll be treated with honor and kindness everywhere you go. This is what $1,500 a month buys you in Thailand: luxury, respect, and a life full of color and warmth. Now let's talk about a country that's incredibly close to the US, shares a time zone, and offers something truly unique: Ecuador. Specifically, cities like Cuenca or the coastal town of Salinas. Ecuador has become one of the top retirement destinations in the world, and it's easy to see why. It's affordable, beautiful, and offers a retirement lifestyle that feels both exotic and familiar. Ecuador is small, but it's incredibly diverse. You have the Andes Mountains, the Amazon rainforest, beautiful beaches, and the famous Galapagos Islands. The weather is perfect year-round in places like Cuenca, which sits in the highlands at about 8,000 feet. It's called the City of Eternal Spring because the temperature stays between 50 and 70 degrees all year. No extreme heat, no freezing winters, just perfect, comfortable weather every single day. Let's talk about cost. In Cuenca, a modern one-bedroom apartment in the historic center or a safe neighborhood costs about $300 to $500 a month. We're talking about beautiful colonial buildings, high ceilings, hardwood floors, sometimes with views of the mountains or the river. In Salinas, a beach town on the Pacific coast, you can rent a condo near the ocean for $400 to $600. Utilities, including electricity, water, and internet, run about $40 to $80 a month. Food in Ecuador is fresh, healthy, and incredibly cheap. Local markets sell fresh fruits, vegetables, fish, and meat for almost nothing. You can feed yourself for $150 to $200 a month if you cook at home. Eating out at sit-down restaurants costs $3 to $5 for a full meal. Even at Western-style restaurants, you're paying $8 to $12. Fresh tropical fruits, seafood, rice, noodles, everything is cheap and fresh. Healthcare is where Ecuador really shines. A doctor's visit costs about $15 to $25. Prescription medications are affordable. Dental work, which is outrageously expensive in the US, costs a fraction of the price here. Many retirees fly to Ecuador specifically for medical procedures because the quality is high and the cost is so low. Private health insurance for retirees runs about $80 to $150 a month, and it covers virtually everything. Let's add it up. Housing and utilities, $550. Food, $200. Healthcare, $80. That's $830. You have $660 left over every month. That's not tight budgeting. That's freedom. You can hire a housekeeper to come twice a week for $60. You can get a massage every week for $8. You can take weekend trips to islands, temples, or neighboring countries. You can save. You can live like you never imagined possible on $1,500 a month. One retired teacher from California moved to Cuenca 6 years ago. She rents a one-bedroom condo with a balcony overlooking the mountains for $400 a month. She eats out almost every meal because it's cheaper than cooking. She takes Thai language classes, she volunteers at a local animal shelter, she gets regular massages and spa treatments. Her total monthly expenses are about $1,200, and she's saving the rest. She said in an interview, "I thought I'd have to give everything to retire early. Instead, I have more than I ever had in the States."
Ecuador offers a retirement visa that's one of the easiest in the world to obtain. You just need to prove you have $800 a month in steady income, which most Social Security checks already cover. The visa is renewable every 2 years, and after 21 months, you can apply for permanent residency. The process is straightforward, and there are services that help you through it. Cuenca has a huge expat community with English-speaking doctors, social clubs, and support networks. You're never alone. This is what $1,500 a month buys you in Ecuador: comfort, beauty, and a retirement that feels like a gift. Finally, let's talk about a country that's off most people's radar but shouldn't be: Vietnam. Specifically, cities like Da Nang or Hoi An, which are on the central coast and offer stunning beaches, rich culture, and an incredibly affordable lifestyle. Vietnam is safe, welcoming, and offers retirees a quality of life that's hard to match anywhere else at this price. Vietnam is beautiful. The coastline is stunning, with white sand beaches and clear blue water. The food is some of the best in the world, fresh, healthy, and flavorful. The people are friendly and respectful, especially toward elders. And the cost of living is so low that $1,500 a month feels like a fortune. Let's talk about housing. In Da Nang, a modern one-bedroom apartment near the beach costs about $300 to $450 a month. In Hoi An, a charming riverside town that's a UNESCO World Heritage Site, you can rent a beautiful apartment or small house for $350 to $500. These places are clean, modern, and comfortable, often with balconies, air conditioning, and everything you need. Utilities run about $40 to $60 a month. Food in Vietnam is unbelievably affordable. You can eat out for every meal and still spend less than $200 a month. A bowl of pho, Vietnam's famous noodle soup, costs about $1.50. A full meal at a local restaurant costs $2 to $3. Even at Western-style restaurants, you're paying $6 to $10. Groceries are cheap too if you prefer cooking at home. Fresh produce, seafood, rice, everything costs almost nothing. Healthcare in Vietnam is affordable and improving rapidly. A doctor's visit costs about $10 to $20. Medications are cheap. Many expats pay out of pocket because it's so affordable, but you can also get private insurance for about $100 to $150 a month. The quality of care in cities like Da Nang is good, with modern hospitals and English-speaking doctors. Let's add it up. Housing and utilities, $500. Food, $200. Healthcare, $100. That's $800. You have $700 left over every month. That's enough to hire a housekeeper, get weekly massages, take cooking classes, explore the country, or save. You're living a life of comfort and adventure on $1,500 a month. One retired couple from Canada moved to Hoi An 3 years ago. They rent a 2-bedroom house with a garden for $450 a month. They eat out every day, they bike to the beach, they've made friends with locals and other expats. They take trips to nearby cities and countries. Their total monthly expenses are about $1,300, and they're saving the rest. They said, "We thought retirement meant giving up. Instead, it's been the adventure of our lives." Vietnam offers a visa that's renewable and relatively easy to manage for retirees. There's a growing expat community in Da Nang and Hoi An with English-speaking services, social groups, and support. The culture is safe, welcoming, and respectful. You'll be treated with kindness everywhere you go. This is what $1,500 a month buys you in Vietnam: adventure, beauty, and a retirement full of life. So here we are. You started this video thinking $1,500 a month wasn't enough, that it barely covered rent and groceries in the States, let alone the kind of retirement you dreamed about. And now you know the truth. That same $1,500 can buy you a beautiful apartment in Portugal with ocean views, a colonial home in Mexico surrounded by culture and warmth, a modern condo in Thailand with luxury amenities, a perfect weather life in Ecuador with mountains or beaches, or an adventurous, vibrant retirement in Vietnam with some of the best food in the world. This isn't fantasy. It's real. Thousands of retirees are living this life right now. They took the leap. They researched, they planned, they moved, and they're living better than they ever did in the States, with less stress and more joy. I know it feels big. I know it feels scary. But here's what I want you to understand. You don't have to do this perfectly. You don't have to move permanently. You can visit first. Spend a month in one of these countries. See how it feels. Talk to expats. Explore the neighborhoods. Test the lifestyle. Many retirees do this before committing, and it takes away so much of the fear. And you're not alone. Every single one of these countries has established expat communities full of people who've been exactly where you are. They'll help you find housing, they'll introduce you to doctors, they'll show you the best markets, the safest neighborhoods, the hidden gems. You'll have support every step of the way. You've worked your entire life for this. You've earned the right to live well, to wake up in a beautiful place, to not worry about every bill, to enjoy your days instead of just surviving them. And if your current income can't give you that life in the States, it absolutely can somewhere else, somewhere better. Somewhere that honors the life you've built and the retirement you deserve. So take a look at these countries, do some research, join expat forums, watch videos from retirees who've made the move, and ask yourself honestly, what am I waiting for? You've got the income, you've got the time, and you've got more courage than you think. Your dream retirement isn't out of reach. It's waiting for you in Portugal, in Mexico, in Thailand, in Ecuador, in Vietnam, and it costs $1,500 a month. Thank you for watching. If this opened your eyes to what's possible, give it a thumbs up. And if you want more ideas like this, honest, practical, senior-focused strategies for living your best retirement, subscribe. I'll be here with more. Until next time, take care of yourself. And remember, you've earned this, every bit of it. Now, go claim it.